Awesome. Well, welcome everyone. Welcome to everyone to our 37th TAN Council reoccurring meeting. I apologize for my chair squeaking a little too loudly, but for today's meeting, we'll be going through TANIP 1 data, show off the new prototype of the Block Explorer, and open floor for some open discussion and Q&A. Firstly, however, let's start with an overview of the TAN Council and the purpose of these reoccurring meetings. These reoccurring meetings serve 5 critical functions. They provide transparency to our community. They create a structured forum for proposal discussions, enabling authors to present to the council and community and to discuss, debate, and refine for formal proposal and voting with consensus. They enable regular platform updates. They ensure consistent communication amongst council members. And last and finally, they allow direct community engagement through question and answer sessions. The TAN Council is a local governance organization within the Telcoin platform. Together, we serve as a provider and administrator of collective goods and services within the jurisdictional domain of the Telcoin Application Network, acronym TAN. The TAN Council, with our 6 members, makes decisions related to TAN improvements and policies through the TANIP process. We need 5 out of 6 votes to approve proposals within a 120-hour voting period. Our primary duties are to allocate TEL issuance on TAN for stakers and developers to harvest, plan, and finance the development of the TAN or Telcoin application network. Our key responsibilities include reviewing and voting on snapshot proposals, attending these biweekly meetings, providing regular community updates, monitoring TAN systems, and enforcing operational rules. We use Discord and Slack for day-to-day communication, the forum for informal proposal discussions, these reoccurring council meetings for proper discussions, deliberations, and refinement, and Snapshot for formal voting. Overall, the TAN Council has authority over minor harvesting and planning and financing TAN infrastructure. Last meeting, so 2 weeks ago, here's some of the action items recap and updates. Last meeting, the TAN Council reviewed TANIP 1 performance data, which showed continued wallet growth and fee volume trends. Active wallets and new wallet acquisition remain steady with room for further growth. We highlighted progress on developer tools and platform features, including new swap functionality added to TelPets for testing. Nick gave a brief update on the status page for Adiri testnet under development to provide better visibility into the network health. And at this point, I'm going to be handing it over to Derek, where he's going to be running through some of the data analysis for TANIP 1. Take it away.
Thank you, sir. Give me a second here. I will share my screen. Okay. All right. You guys see my screen? Assuming you can.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Okay. So just a little bit more on some of the data for this last week. I don't have the newest epoch run yet from yesterday. We're running that here in a little bit. But we'll run kind of through the data from the week ending in 6/3, and then we'll have the week ending from 6/10, or really 6/11 technically, here soon. So just a little bit about the data set here. You can kind of see in the bottom row there. And this will get posted in the Discord here in a little while. But we did see the percentage of TEL rewards tick up again from about 4.1% to 5.4%. The total cumulative unclaimed rewards is sitting around 25 million in unclaimed rewards. Again, we've talked a little bit about ways that we can go about spending some of that as well. Let me get to the next page. Let's see. So there's a distribution summary here for anyone that wants to read through that. Active wallets, period new wallets is down to about 5 new wallets this period, but we still are seeing active wallets and unique wallet count tick up. So up from 1,081 to 1,086. We did see a significant increase. I posted this a while ago. It's not reflective here on this chart because it's not something I'm tracking on the staking address side, but we did see a significant uptick, and I might pull it up in a little bit on some of the stuff in staked TEL. So we saw an increase of about 500 million staked TEL over the last 2 weeks through the staking contract. specifically, which is a great sign. Nice increase. You can always check that out in one of the community tools that Nick and myself kind of worked on, which is Telcoin Hub. So feel free to take a look at that. I'll maybe pull that up here in a little bit. We plan on having, with the web unification project that was demoed last week, we plan on having a lot of those things taken care of in the new website. So the new website unification project is going to have a lot of these statistics. But getting down into some of the graphs, some staker fees versus regular fees, we did see this again start to tick back in the right direction there. The fee dominance, so this is the comparison of kind of the gap between regular staker versus referee fees, and the goal is to have this as close to the middle as possible. So we're seeing that. So here's where the restart happened in period 24. And it's not, and I know it says period 24 because it's linear. It isn't actually 24. This is the correct data set, just the x-axis is a little off. So we are seeing this kind of start to shrink more and more and more and get closer together, which means that we're having essentially an equal parity of fees between referees and referrers, and stakers. I'm sorry. Going back down a little more to the rewards distribution. This talks about the unclaimed tell that we've had. The blue bar, blow this up a little bit. I want to make sure this is still viewable. Give me 1 second here. Okay, it is good. The blue bar that we're looking at here represents the amount of tell that was claimed, and then the orange bar represents the amount of tell that was unclaimed specifically for the week. So you can see the restart. This is when we were seeing, with the old formula, we were having different types of activity on the network. Here, this is a good a good measure of actual usage of tell rewards there. Going down further, new wallets. We've seen this kind of go back and forth. It just kind of depends there. New wallet count here as well. And then this is just kind of a unclaimed tell rewards cumulative here. So this tool also has get here, a wallet search tool as well. You can use this as, again, this is posted on the website or on the Discord forums. If you're curious about, and I will just pull up a random address. Let me find one here. But if let's say you're curious about your rewards, you can stick in your wallet address and you can take a look at the history of your wallet and what it's done since the beginning of the program. It'll show you your lifetime issuance. This is really helpful if you're trying to figure out, well, am I capped or am I not capped at my rewards? So really, the goal obviously is to not have this in an Excel sheet long term. The goal is to have this on an actual web portal where it's driving people to the website. People can log in and look at their stuff. A lot of it right now is pivot table based, so it'll be easy to transfer. This is just something we've kind of built up over time. And the goal is to be able to see kind of wallet activity over the lifetime of a wallet. So a great tool there. Again, you can download this from our Discord. Please feel free to go on there and do so and take a look at it there. There is another tab that is just the post restart metrics. If you want to look at that, you can. That is literally just looking at the fee dominance and stuff since things reset. So a little bit of a cleaner look than the other that has all the old weeks in it as well. This gives you kind of a more straight line view. Now that we have a few weeks under our belt of the data, we can keep taking a look at those. So as you can see, the gap between the referee fees and the staker fees has really started to shrink. And that's what we want to see, because that means that the people that are staking are just as active, if not more active, than their referees. So that's a positive trend that we want to see. What were some of the other notes I made? Let's look. Let's see. Yeah, again, it's building. It's a steady base that keeps building. We'll want to watch if there's this cooldown period that we saw between period 33 and 34 continues. We are seeing we saw a little bit of a reset, so that coincided with that little bit of a market pump that we had with Tell price, and after the restart of the program. If we go back up and look, specifically speaking about this week right here on 520. we saw a pretty significant amount of fee generation. And then we dipped back kind of into these levels right here. So this is an outlier that we'll want to keep an eye on. We saw 14, almost 15% of our rewards that are actually put out there, which is great to see. And we'll want to keep kind of seeing how the data trends. The more data points that we have, the more we can kind of start figuring out what levers we can pull to encourage more usage here, and what that looks like once we get more activity on the network and kind of, yeah. Any specific questions from anybody on the call here that I can answer? Hearing none. Okay, cool. Um, yeah, Ty made a comment that we have a lot of excess reserve funds um, in rewards, and I think we agree there. And we talked about a few different scenarios where we can use some of those back funds in kind of enhancing developer onboarding, or developer incentives, or a way to, a lot of chains do grants, right? But we don't want to see instances where people are just utilizing grant money to build on the network and then just jump ship, right? The whole point of the way that the system is designed is to encourage sustained and continued, developers are rewarded for the activity that they produce on the network, not just, hey, here's a grant to build on the network. So we have to find a good balance point between those two things, because we do need to attract developers, which is what grants do, but we also need to encourage them to stay. Yeah. Yes, Ty, there's one grant. So yeah, and I know we've talked internally about a lot of ways to do that, as the network is nearing kind of completion status, and kind of in that last phase we're really focused on more meetings with developers. There's going to be even more of a governance process that'll start here. We're going to start having GSMA applications will starting to need to go through, and all kinds of fun stuff for developer work. So yeah, that's it for now. So um I think, is Nick here? I can't tell on my screen.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, cool. So no, you're good. So moving on, kind of a good segue into kind of the developer stuff and kind of the developer landing page that we've kind of conceptualized for the web unification process. Nick, if you want to kind of give a brief overview, that'd be awesome.
On the unified web.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
So I know we demoed it a little bit right last week. If you just want to maybe talk a little bit more specifically about kind of the vision with the paths and things in some of our discussions with that, and I can add a little context as well.
Yeah, sure. So on the PCTC meeting, we did a demo of the new UI, designs for the unified web. We're nearing the end of it. We're just waiting for content, hopefully beginning of next week, maybe, to go into the designs. And then we'll have a final demo, and then it goes into building phase. But in essence, we've worked really, really hard on putting this all together to make it a nice unified journey for whatever type of visitor is coming to the site. So once you land on the home page, it's nice and clear what the Telcoin network is. You're instantly given different paths to take, whether you're an MNO or you are a developer. The MNO landing page is pretty self-sufficient, explainable. It's just for MNOs to go on there and read more about, what it is for having a validator running on the network, etc., how it works, how to apply or get more information, with a lot more details. Oh yeah, you've got it up here, perfect. So that's coming along really well. And then the developer landing page, which is one that is super important, is going to have access directly, telling you exactly what the Telcoin network is, how you can develop on it, ideas of what you could build. It's also going to take you off to giving you two different paths. So the main sort of, I don't know if you want to say, premium kind of path is the GSMA path. you need to have your company, or as an individual, you need to have a GSMA membership, which will then allow you to earn rewards from the network, but also votes, governance, things like that. That's important because if you are a GSMA member, you get authorized to be with an NFT, to be a developer, or a GSMA developer. You build your apps for your clients or your customers or whatnot, but you're a bit like Derek was saying about the grants kind of status. Traditionally L1s and L2s and all that, they've offered all these grants to developers. They come over, grab the grants, spend a couple of weeks or a couple of months doing something, can't seem to make it work properly, and then they hop off to another L1 or L2 and try to get a grant. So with being a GSMA member and entitled to network rewards, you have a more longevity kind of reason to stay and keep pushing and building your app, available to ideally the MNO subscriber user base. So you should have plenty of users that could potentially chip in and use your DApp or your whatever you've built on the network. But then the other side,
Just a quick disclaimer too, before I scroll here, Nick. This is not live content. This is placeholder content. So please, this is a demo page. When you see this stuff, don't make assumptions that these are the actual products or the actual whatever. Just to be clear.
Yeah, exactly. It's all placeholder text. The content hasn't gone in yet. This is more about the design of the page and things like that. But yeah, so the second kind of path for a developer is completely open source. Jump on the network, build what you want. You're not entitled to rewards from the network or governance, but it's a good place to start. Get used to it, build your stuff, test it all out. You can deploy it on mainnet when mainnet launches, etc. And then if you want to up your sort of developer to a GSMA member, I believe the TAN has a grant for that to cover the first year of your GSMA membership, and I think that's open to the first 10. Is it 10 applications?
Yeah, right now it's the first 10 applications.
Applications.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So there are some grants to kind of get you on the right footing to be a GSMA member, which you've got to keep in mind as well. Becoming a GSMA member as a developer, it doesn't just mean you can build for Telcoin network. You're then open to the whole of the GSMA association and whoever's under it, all the MNOs and whatnot. So potentially as a developer, you could expand to building stuff for lots of GSMA associate companies and things. So yeah, that's where we are with it. It's obviously also going to have links for you to dive in and get all the technical docs and examples, things like that. We're going to be putting developer examples on there and loads of other stuff. So yeah, bear with us. We're finishing this design phase end of this week, sort of middle of next week. We're waiting for our final sort of demo. And then we switch into the build phase, which can take a little while. But we're past the halfway mark anyway. So yeah, exciting times.
Yeah, definitely. So we spent a lot of time, Nick and I, especially going back and forth about, we need one pagers to I kept saying we need one pagers. I gotta have something to talk to developers about. But now the whole idea is that this is our one pager. This is where we send all the developers. It improves our SEO, it improves our Google search standing, and it just gives a full place for developers to look at things. The nice part is we'll be able to track developers slash MNOs slash regular users and look at their activity on the website and in the web unification, and see kind of where are they really spending their time, where are they clicking, what's our throughput, and really kind of tool our page around that to try to just get as much throughput as possible. And we looked at a lot of the industry experts and how they handle their developer pages, and a lot of other L1s and how they handle their developer pages, and kind of use those as kind of our use case study. We spent a lot of time doing that. So we feel really confident about how this is going to work and what it will attract. And I'm really looking forward to seeing some SEO, increasing search results and other things as well. So it should be great.
Yeah, and also with that top right there, it doesn't matter, you closed it, but the top right, there's the universal search, which is going to index everything on the site. So, you know, if you kind of know what you're looking for, could be developer stuff, could be M&O stuff, could be governance stuff. You'll be able to type it in there and get sort of like a rich results and take you to part of the site that you want to read. So, you know, overall, a lot of hard work's gone into it to unify all these separate kind of siloed pages we currently have, like telcoin.network, telcoin.org, telex.network. They're all coming under one umbrella. So yeah, it will be. And then obviously when we build the site and we launch it, it's got the association owns all the IP for the code. We'll have a full CMS system to go in the back and, you know, tweak and edit stuff. So you'll, once it's built, and we launch it, you know, it's still going to be constantly tweaked and content's going to be updated and things like that. So yeah, exciting times ahead.
For sure. Just to build on that a little bit, like I've had conversations with two different developers this week about projects they're looking at launching. I know internally we have some council members that are interested in launching some projects. I mean, stuff from creator rewards tokens at a DEX level, some gamification systems, some like a brand safe social media Telegram esque thing that's specific for almost like Telegram for businesses. Yeah, so there's a lot of different things that are ideas out there on how to integrate blockchain technology into day-to-day business, and those are kind of the use cases we're really chasing down right now. While the developers are super hard at work building all the network stuff and all the stuff that's going into that. Yeah, we're really pushing things forward from that direction. So good stuff there. Let's see. Nick, I don't know if you have it pulled up or if you are able to do a quick run through maybe of the block explorer.
Yeah, for sure.
That'd be sweet.
Come prepared for that.
Awesome. Yeah, I kind of blinded you with the web unification, so thank you for indulging me.
That's okay. I just need, the only annoying thing is it's on my other browser, so let me just think. I don't want to.
I can share it if you want. You just let me know.
Yeah, because obviously it's not fully live yet, so I don't want to give the URL out. And that's mainly because we haven't built the backend indexer yet for it. So
you can, if you share it, I can always clip out the URL. That's not a problem. Yeah. Give me just a second, and I will adjust the screen so you don't have to worry about that. 1 second here.
I've got to share a whole window. That's why.
Yeah, no, you don't. You can go ahead and share it, and the top quarter of it will be cut off, and then I'll adjust accordingly. Okay.
Yeah, you ready?
Give me 1 second here. 1 second. All right, you're good. Go ahead.
Okay, let's see. It's on Telpets for the moment anyway, so.
Yeah, you're good. I've got the URL cut out. As long as you don't resize your window, you're fine.
Yeah, okay, cool. So let me just switch. So this is the kind of second block explorer. Obviously, Ari's the one that's up there at the moment on telscan.io is the one that Ari's kind of building, which is fine. It's great. It works well as well. This one here is built sort of differently. It's built on in Rust, which is kind of like a programming language that Grant wanted to use. So we're experimenting with this because it can work a lot better since a lot of the other stuff's built in Rust as well. But in essence, right now, the reason why we haven't shared it is because it's like a light explorer. It only goes back the last 200 blocks, I think it is, for data. So you can't get all the data from Genesis. But we're working on a back end for it, like an indexer for it. We need to wait for a few little things to change in the code. before we can start doing that. But that's what's holding this from being released at the moment, is the back end kind of stuff. Because right now, if we had loads of users going on this, it creates a WebSocket through the RPC, and then we don't want to overload RPCs and stuff. But having said that, I can give you a demo of it. It's pretty cool. It's very basic at the moment, but I'll give you an example from Telpets. So for example, where are we? So my on-chain pet record, I can copy that. I can go over to the Block Explorer. I can paste my contract address in and search it up, and it will show me this is my pet, my pet smart contract from Telpets. So and I own this one, so I can query the name. It's got my name. I can query the stage, legendary, character-wise, and I can interact with this smart contract because I'm the owner of it. It's my pet on Telpets. So the sort of confusing stuff here. These are all. I could actually change something on it, so I could change my level. For example, my XP.
Nick, this is, not to interrupt, this is the same as interacting with a contract on like Etherscan, right?
Exactly. These are just the features that I've currently got built in at the moment, just to give you an example of it. But yeah, that's the Pet Smart contract. And the same way goes if I did a transaction. Let me do a quick test transaction. So if I just do a transaction on Telpets, it will confirm. And once that's confirmed, just wait for the pop-up. There we go. I can go down to my run history, check that, copy the hash, go back, paste it in, search that. There you go. That's a transaction I just done. Same as like Etherscan or Polygon scan. But yeah, but obviously only monitors the last 200 blocks. So if I left that for a while, that transaction wouldn't show up. But that's just the limitations at the moment. But other important things, which we're working on, and this is quite old. This is a few weeks old now, and a lot has changed. But I haven't had time yet to work on this particular page. But this validators page shows you the validators in the committee. There could be more that are not part of the committee yet, so it just shows you the ones that are actually the CVVs, committee voting validators. So there will be a lot of changes to this, but this is kind of what we're trying to do because the way the Telcoin network works. The EVM side is only, the end bit. It's there's so much more that goes on in the consensus layers, deeper in where it all starts before the EVM kind of, the blocks show on the end. So it's kind of very different to how Ethereum or an EVM chain works. So what we want to do with the Block Explorer is we want to give more information, like have a window into further deeper into the blockchain itself. So it's a lot of work is going on in this particular part, like under the validators part, to be able to see more stuff, which is quite technical and a lot of work, but it will be like a fully featured, more than just an EVM kind of Block Explorer when we finish with it. Same with the epochs page. The epochs run every 6 hours. So this shows you which validator has been leading in the transactions and things like that. So then again, this page is really rough. There's a lot more data I can pull in now because the devs have done a great job of been adding more kind of elements to be able to look deeper into the layers of the network. So there's a lot more things coming. That we'll be able to pull out a lot more information soon. So this will expand over time. Ideally, I want to launch it, but at the moment I can't because we don't want too many people here at the same time, because it's not set up in a way where every time you visit it now, it creates a WebSocket to an RPC per individual visitor. So it would just be too overwhelming. I need to sort it out. So we have a smoother way of doing that, which I will. Another thing I'll show you since we're here, which again is not public yet. This is probably a little bit of a surprise one. We've got this will be launched soon to the public anyway, but we've got live data into the health of testnet. So this one's a limited view. I can't log into the main dashboard, but this here polls every 60 seconds on particular validators and the RPC nodes and the consensus block as well. So this is very, very accurate. If we have any little blips or anything with testnet, we'll get orange. If it's like something, an orange block will pop up. This is based on Kuma dashboard, which is a really good health monitoring tool. You can create monitors and you can actually code into it exactly, which part of the consensus you want to look at, or how the validators react and how they're polled for their heartbeat and things like that. So very, 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 you can do anything you want. It's very, very powerful. So right now, if we had a problem with testnet, this would go red straight away, like within under a minute. It polls every 60 seconds, but it would go quicker. And all the devs, we get automatic alerts in Slack channels and things like that for it. So this is a very useful tool. It's on testnet at the moment, and it will be, obviously we'll build out another dashboard like this when we have issues as well. The whole point of this dashboard is to monitor the health of the network and all the nodes and everything like that around it. But we'll also be able to create incidences on here, or if not, if there's any kind of particular issues we're looking into, so anyone can view exactly what's going on. So yeah, that's another thing that we've been working on. And hopefully I want to get that out to the public soon, but because it's under the same URL as the Block Explorer, I can't do it. So yeah, but there we go. We're pretty close. Go on, Boo. You got a question?
Yeah, just ask on behalf of the community, because I can imagine a question coming up. So the validators in that list, is that a full list typically, or is it just a subset of the validators that you were showing?
Those are the ones that are actually in the committee that are allowed to handle everything. So there could be other validators that are not quite in yet. Like, for example, when you set up a new validator, it has to sync the whole network first. Once it syncs the whole network, you can then, how do I say it in an easy way? You can then convert it into a full validator. Then once you convert it into a full validator, it goes in the queue until the next epoch is reached, which is currently 6 hours. When the next epoch is reached, then it can go into the committee. But depending on, for example, we've got a test validator that's in Australia, for example, so it's a little bit milliseconds of lag compared to like some other validators that are closer together. So there's things like that we're working on to improve to make sure nodes that are a bit further out can communicate its same sort of speed as other ones closer together. So there's so much going on. It's just like a million things. So there's lots of fine-tuning, performance stuff going on. But yeah, in essence, there's more validators in the pipeline. They're getting prepared because they need to sync everything first. We have to get them set up correctly. And they will join the committee at some point, hopefully sooner rather than later. But there's a lot that goes on into getting them ready to sort of join in,
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thanks, Nick. Nick, can you do if you're on there, can you do a transaction really quick?
Something
do a quick one. I want to test something because we may be able to show something really quick if you want it there.
Okay. Is it what I think it is?
Yeah, if you want.
Nice. Yeah, let's do it. I've been waiting for it.
Yeah. Okay. You ready? I'll do an ultra burst because it's a multi-call. It will take a few seconds longer.
Yeah, let's see. I don't think I've gotten it down to where it'll show like the burst, but I know that I have it labeled where, if a contract made or something's minted. Okay, yeah, I just saw it. It said 5tel.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, yeah.
It's cool. I love it. I'm excited.
So just a little backstory, a while ago, I think it was a month or two, where someone created a blockchain visualizer whenever you bridge something like on chain, just from one area to another, obviously. But basically, it was showing how long it would take, like visualizing a bridging an asset, right? And so, whether it be to Polygon, it'd be like super quick, and it would show a car going from one side of the bridge to the other. So I kind of, since Claude's readily available, for everyone to use, I was like, well, what's a good way that we can kind of visualize it? And so I started with, I want to visualize centralized exchanges whenever buys or sells come through, or I want to see on-chain activity as well. So I started with Binance and Hyperliquid, but then I was like, we need Telcoin. We need to visualize some of these things that are going through. So I ended up creating a like little visualizer, and I'm not going to say what the name is just yet. It may come up on here.
Do you want me to hide the?
It don't matter. I
Okay,
have
yeah,
it
you're
sharing
good.
my
You're
screen
good.
here.
You're good.
So basically, it's this like really poorly pixelated, rendition of a visualizer. So as you can see down here, it'll actually point to the contract. I'm not going to hover over it because it'll show the URL. It'll take you right to the transaction. But if you guys, anyone does a transaction or something on the Telcoin network right now, it will actively show it as a missile, basically.
Nick, can you do one? Is that okay, Cody?
Yeah. You guys,
Yeah, go
anyone
ahead,
can do
Nick.
it. Yeah, that's fine.
Anybody can. Yeah,
anyone
it's
wants
pretty
to do
cool.
it.
No, I'll just segment to myself and my MetaMask.
Yeah, it's any transaction works actually.
Any transaction works.
Right.
And so what I want to do is I've talked to Derek about it a little bit, but we're gonna go into it a little bit more and be able to like label each thing to where like it'll know exactly what it is when it happens, and maybe we can trigger certain events. But I just thought this was a cool, what I'm saying, something different that you don't see too often. So right there was the missile going out for a send of 1 tel, right? And later we'll be able to kind of piece it all together. But this is kind of the rough draft, and I think that visually it's it's something cool.
I got one for you.
Cody, can you flip on the CEX so that just to see it at like
I don't
scale?
So I'll do Hyperliquid because that seems more active
than
Binance. So here's what it actually looks like usually. And so Binance.
So I think this gives a great like sense of like what it'll look like when there's activity going, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So recently there was Hyperliquid seems to be the most like active. So right there was a sell, obviously. If there is a buy that comes in at the same time as a sell does, it will actively try to knock it out of the sky. But if it's not like more overpowering than the sell is, then obviously it still comes down and hits. So you'll see the assets as they come down, basically.
I've got one for you. Watch this. Let me try something.
What does it? Are you on Telcoin?
Let him switch first. Yeah, he's got to switch it back.
Yeah, hold on a second. So here we go, because Telcoin's limited right now. So, but yeah, go ahead and do it. I don't know if it'll.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, there's two.
That wasn't me. Here we go. Let's have a look. Let's see if this does what I think it does.
There's 239 being sent. Like, yeah. So.
Wait. Let's see.
If you're gonna say it does like the burst, it'd be wild, but I don't know.
Yeah, 239. Let's see what happens.
It actually already did it. That was this
we saw that one.
Yeah.
Oh, did you do it?
Yeah. So it didn't like isolate it to where individually it did it, but that's something I can work on because I think that'd be super dope to put in there.
Yeah, I just did an airdrop of 1 tel to 239 pet owners. So.
Ooh. But yeah, this is kind of it. A beta will probably just open it up to everyone to kind of like use and stuff like that. But yeah, I thought it was cool.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty awesome, man.
Yeah,
Thank
I love
you very much.
See, that's the kind of thing you could just watch all the time.
I know. Change it up. It
Literally,
won't be market cap anymore. It'll be the skyline. So
no, it's pretty neat.
The way you could gamify that is the odd random transaction that fires off as a missile is like something you got to click on.
Yeah, I'd be cool too. I mean, here's the thing is like you can get it. So real quick, I'll show everyone. Is that let's go back to just Hyperliquid for example. There is music with it. So like it has this lo-fi. I don't know if you can hear the music in the background.
Yep.
But it has lo-fi playing, and then it does like fanfare Final Fantasy VII music when there's a rally, and then it does like the Final Fantasy like winged angel of like Sephiroth whenever there's like an Armageddon, and you can actually do a picture screenshot as well that says I was there for the liquidation. So small things like that. We'll switch to commodities and stocks eventually once they make it to on-chain like fully for Telcoin and stuff. But again, this is just a rough rendition. But here is what I wanted to show was the simulation, and
oh yeah, for sure.
it can get pretty bad.
Yeah, that's super cool. That's super cool.
Oh yeah. So
you know what? It just reminds me of what's that game again? Back in the day, X something, when you could actually have a thing down the bottom where you've got to shoot all those out of the sky.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Is it Space? It's not Space Invaders, is it?
Space Invaders.
Well, Space Invaders, but there was another one called I can't remember what it was, but yeah, same thing, Space Invaders. So you can actually shoot all the transactions out of the sky.
Yeah, that'd be so dope.
And it's never the same,
pretty cool,
right?
man.
It's never going to be the same. That's the beauty of that kind of game. It's like, they're all coming from different times and different angles. So it's like, whatever. It's random every time you play it.
Yeah, it like the way it's set up for CEX is it's like visualizing a buy-sell book, right? It's
Exactly.
literally an order book visualization, which is really cool. I love it.
Yeah.
We'll put it out there soon for everyone. So
awesome, man. Nice job. All right. Any other questions in the chat here? Sorry, Cody, I'm stealing your thunder. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're good, man. You're better at it than me.
Just used to it. I do it every week. There's nothing in the chat on the stream. If anybody has any questions, please let us know. I'll see Nick's here and Dally and a few others. So yeah, there'll be a lot more of these projects coming out. We'll be doing more features of any developers. Again, if developers anybody's interested in just building on a Deary testnet or anything else about how monetization of their project would work on Telcoin Network, reach out to us at devs@telcoin.org. Happy to discuss anything there. Leo, I don't know if you had anything you wanted to add or anything from your side, since I think he's here, but
no, I think you covered it all and more. So thank you very much. Lovely demos.
Sure. Awesome. All right. I think that's it, Cody.
All right. Well, since that's all done, that's about the end of it. So we will, wrap it up, and we will see you guys in 2 weeks for the next one. Hopefully, we have some, some good news, prior to then. So if you guys need anything, reach any one of us out, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Thanks, everybody.